Welcome back to the 2011 PBA World Championship. Yesterday, luck was on Michael Haugen Jr.'s side as he was able to knock off two-handed sensation Jason Belmonte in the World Championship's first stages. But today, two of the PBA Tour's best are awaiting Haugen on the 8-man stepladder. First, number 5 seed, Major Mika Koivuniemi, and then number 4 qualifier former player of the year, Chris Barnes. Can Haugen's good luck continue? The PBA World Championship continues right now.
The PBA has rolled into Las Vegas, and someone is ready to cash in on the first major of the season. Tonight, the South Point Hotel and Casino hosts Day 2 of the PBA World Championship. And we welcome you to Day 2 of 3 consecutive days of live coverage of the PBA World Championship, the first major of the season. And what a wonderful 7-day stretch we begin right now in the PBA. This Day 2, tomorrow Day 3, the championship round live, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then next Saturday, our second major of the season, the Tournament of Champions, returns to ABC. Before we get to today's action, we flash back to tomorrow. Jason Belmonte, the 8th seed, the two-handed roller from Australia, taking down Wes Malott. Belmo off to a great start, dropped the opening 4, and Wes Malott had early struggles, could never gain enough ground, and Belmo started strong, finished just as strong. He moved on 222, 186. Another strong start for Jason as he took on 6th seed Michael Haugen Jr. Michael Haugen Jr. some of those West-like early struggles, but was able to collect himself as Jason was unable to fully close the door. The 10-pin, a real bugaboo for him yesterday afternoon. So Haugen didn't like it, but the result he'll take just fine. Haugen advances 233, 220 with 7 strikes, a 3-bagger and a 4-bagger, 2 Brooklyns in there, oh, by the way. So Haugen Jr. moves on to take on Mika Koivuniemi, our 5 seed, the winner, to take on 4 seed Chris Barnes a little bit later tonight. The winner of that match will move on to our live coverage on ESPN, 1 p.m. Eastern. You see your 3 seeds there. Number 1 seed, Bill O'Neill, trying to earn his 2nd title of the year. Rob Stone and 13-time titleist Randy Peterson back here with you, and kind of a wild Friday. You predicted Haugen Jr. would move on, certainly not in the fashion that he did.
Well, you know, he was very fortunate, but he's also been on the other side of that. He shot 279 in Louisville back in 2001, only to lose to Pete Weber's 289. Michael Haugen Jr. needs to continue to ride the wave of good fortune today.
Hey, a lot of people probably thought the Baltimore Ravens should have won today. That's why you play the game. Things like that happen. We go down to the lanes. Our 2 competitors standing by, and there's Kimberly Pressler standing by with him. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Rob. Well, yesterday, Michael actually had to do a ball change in the middle of his match. Michael, how confident in your ball selection are you today?
Well, if I'm not too confident, I got a lot more that'll work. And as you've seen yesterday, I'm not afraid to switch at any time. So that's the beauty of having, 8 or 9 bowling balls, is that if one's not working, you just switch, and hopefully you guess right and you keep striking. So when you have a good lineup, you just go with one that works.
And what are you going to start with?
I'm going to go with the Bank Pro. It's our most aggressive ball, and it's designed to really hook in the back end. So if I decide to firm up or hook it, hopefully it's going to give me the hook and give me the carry to strike.
So you're going back to starting what you started yesterday?
That's correct for now, but like I said, you never know.
All right, and Mika, you are coming off a back injury. How are you feeling, and do you feel like you're back in top form?
My back is great. It's no excuses here. I need to just perform well and do my job.
Well, nothing but positive vibes and confidence coming from the floor. Rob, back to you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Action from Day 2 kicks off when we return. Can Michael Haugen's good fortune continue tonight, or will 8-time titleist Mika Koivuniemi bring his run to an end? Find out with us. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By the makers of One A Day Men's 50-plus Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And welcome back to our continuing live coverage of the 52nd edition of the PBA World Championship. We are coming away from South Point Bowling Center here in Las Vegas. Time now for the introductions of match number 3.
The number 5 seed is an 8-time PBA Tour champion with 2 majors. Former PBA Player of the Year representing Finland, the Big Fin, Mika Koivuniemi.
Those 2 majors, the 2000 USBC Masters and the 01 US Open. Day 2 gets underway right now. And Mika starts with an opening kato.
And it's all business on Mika's face right now.
The number 6 seed owns a pair of PBA Tour titles, including 1 major from Carefree, Arizona, Michael Haugen Jr.
That 1 major that was just mentioned, earned here in Las Vegas, the 2008 TOC, a memorable match versus Chris Barnes, who is waiting in the wings to take on the winner of this match.
Well, he's going with the strongest ball in his arsenal. He's throwing a high, hard one. Now, it was interesting to watch Michael Haugen Jr. in practice because he had moved farther towards the center part of the lane with that same bank pearl. He actually slowed his speed down, kind of got his hand around the side of it, and was playing the lanes very similar to what Mika was playing them. But apparently, he decided to go with his A game, and that's moving right and throwing it hard and straight.
It's what you're confident with in any sport, and if that is the tool that you feel best with, roll with it. Whoa, late kick.
You don't get those on TV 2 days in a row.
Wow. Somebody get him down to the tables, because he is rolling with luck so far.
I am so gambling with him tonight. I mean, we saw it yesterday's show.
That's a great break.
2 trip 6 Brooklyns. Right there, now it's a trip 2 pin for an early double. But I got to tell you, Rob, I don't think I'm a big fan of him throwing it that straight. If he misses an inch to the inside, he's going to throw it right into Mika's track area.
Back-to-back opening jacks for Mika Koivuniemi. Another kato, which is finish for strike as we take a look at Mika's arsenal.
Using a strong one. Mission Dominator. Excuse me, Mission Domination. It's the strongest bowling ball in his arsenal, and you can see why. He's inside and trying to open it up. But again, he's farther left than Michael Haugen Jr., and he's burning up all of Michael Haugen Jr.'s hold area.
Trying to drop a 3-ball here. A leadoff triple for Mika Koivuniemi. The Big Fin, 6'4", 185, lives now in Michigan, and nothing but strikes here thus far tonight.
And absolutely no emotion by Mika with that 3rd strike. Just stoic. All business.
Michael Haugen Jr. advancing yesterday over Jason Belmonte, 233, 220. Right through the nose, and that's exactly what you were talking about.
Well, again, any miss left, and it's going to spell disaster for Michael Haugen Jr. because this area right in here is all dry now. Michael Haugen Jr. tries to get to the right of that, but the problem is if he misses left, that's what happens. Chris Barnes and Mika Koivuniemi during practice played to their strength and their power game. They started going straight early, but as the lanes broke down, they did what they do best. They moved in, and they opened up the lane. Michael Haugen Jr. doesn't like to do that.
And you saw that going on about half an hour ago during our live at the PBA World Championship coverage. Off the open frame, back on the strike train.
See, now that was a great adjustment because he stayed with the same line, went with a little bit of loft, and that held the ball on line.
So Koivuniemi looking for an opening four-bagger. The lead at 25 early on.
Show me those signs, Vegas. What a start for Mika.
I thought it was great when you asked Mika, how do you say ham bone and finish? His response, four-bagger.
To each their own, Randall. To each their own.
Well, again, just 4 perfect shots by Mika Koivuniemi to start.
And remember, Jason Belmonte, match number 1 yesterday, started with an opening four-bagger as well. Went on to move on and then finally fall to Michael Haugen Jr. Mika looking for 5.
Perfection through 5.
You know, it's one thing to have talent and be physically gifted, but you also have to have the mental capabilities to go with that. And Mika's showing you he's got it all.
Here is a graphic showing how he fared through the 5 events of the recently completed World Series of Bowling. And Viper, he was second through qualifying, clearly his favorite.
Cameraman in the white shirt, he's bouncing all over. Just letting you know. The guy in the white shirt behind, he was moving all over the place. He's fine now, but he was just all over the place.
We have seen this in the past from Michael Haugen Jr. He is easily distracted by some of the elements that go on around a live TV bowling situation.
He's able to shake it off and get all 10 to drop.
I know, but that time I could really see his white shirt, so I know.
I think the last thing Mika wants to do is get in a conversation with his opponent right now. He's like, you know what? I'm sitting here doing my thing. I got 5 in a row. Let's see what you got left, Michael Haugen Jr. Double open frame in the 3rd, followed by a double. Michael needs to get focused, not worry about the stuff happening down lane, and start throwing strikes.
Come on.
And another strike for Haugen.
Man, that ball's phenomenal.
3 in a row. The conclusion of Haugen. Koivuniemi on the backside. Plus, if you are a female high school bowler who wants to roll in college, Michael Haugen and Arizona State may have a solution. We'll explain when we return.
You don't get
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Our continuing coverage of the PBA World Championship as we zoom in on the beautiful Lena Koivuniemi, the wife of Mika. She's got a great seat to watch her husband try and continue his efforts to win his 3rd ever major. And Mika, perfect through 5, stepping up to close out the 6th.
Little commercial blues there. Quite possibly the oil pattern breaking down just a little bit, and Mika not anticipating that. But let's take a look now. There's a difference between loft and a high launch angle. You notice how, because Mika doesn't have a huge knee bend, and he's a big, tall guy, it's a little bit tougher for him to get the ball down on the floor without hearing it hit the lane.
Mika able to cover that one. He remains clean through 6. Again, Haugen with an open frame in the 3rd, but it's been nothing but strikes on the front and back end of that open frame.
I'll tell you, if you want to be a good player out here, you better learn how to make the 3-6-10 and the 3-6-9-10, because it seems like if you don't split and you go through the nose, that's what you're leaving.
And how many times, Randy, have we seen these tournaments come down to those who can or can't make their spares?
That's a great shot. And it was a great camera angle, too, because it really shows you how steady Mika's head is at delivery, at the release point. You don't want your head moving all over the place because then it's harder to keep your eyes on your target. And Mika is beautifully balanced. And just a great shot, only to leave a ringing 10.
So back-to-back spares for Mika, and now Michael Haugen steps up for his effort in the 7th. And Michael, as we were going to break, you made a comment about your bowling ball. What is it doing so well for you right now?
Right now, it's knocking all 10 down if I get it even remotely close to the right side of the head pin, which is an absolutely fabulous thing out here. Hopefully I can continue to make good shots like that and it'll strike. As for the reaction, it's clearing the fronts the way I want them to, and it's just running through the pins the right way. So hopefully we didn't jinx anything here, and I got 2 more strikes coming up.
So Michael steps up, bottom of the 7th. Haugen, an assistant men's coach at Arizona State, would be the women's head coach, Randy, if he was able to get a women's program. What they need, 2 recruits to make it happen. So if you are a young female bowler out there who wants to bowl collegiately, look up Arizona State. Michael, you didn't see the shot pointed at us with 2 hands.
Oh, guys.
I, in no way, shape, or form, are going to take blame for him not dropping that 10 pin.
Hey, well, one good ringing 10 deserves another. Mika left it on the left lane. He comes back with a good one on the right lane. Unfortunately, he was on a 3-bagger.
Put on the skinny jeans on the backside to drop down that 10 pin.
He's a good spare shooter. He doesn't miss spares.
One of the underrated aspects of Michael Haugen's game. Take a look at some of the other finishers from the PBA World Championship. Jason Belmonte with the win over Wes Malott, finished 7th yesterday. There's our good friend Ronnie Russell at 9. Richie Allen, one of my favorites, with the top 10 finish.
How about on Leno Monticelli at 11?
Left lane provides a strike for Haugen.
Standing up after getting it over there.
Norm Duke finishing 17th. It'll be interesting to see what Norm does this week. The Tournament of Champions getting fired up right now.
Kimmo Lehtonen.
Pete Weber checking in at 20. Tommy Jones, 22. Mika Koivuniemi. Big frame here in the 8th after back-to-back spares. Again, he started with 5 strikes.
22-pin lead.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, and that was beautiful. He kept his hand up the back of that shot there to control the back end reaction and make the ball behave perfectly off the back end of the pattern.
And not a trace of emotion.
Well, and you know what? Rightly so. He doesn't win the tournament by beating Michael Haugen Jr.
He doesn't even win it by beating Chris Barnes should he advance.
He wins the tournament by beating Bill O'Neill tomorrow. There's absolutely no reason to, to get all mental yet.
Up 22, we begin the foundation frame 9th.
Whoa. Now that could have been real interesting with a big 4 right here. Mika gets this ball inside and it barely holds on. Looking for the trip 4-7-10, doesn't get it. Mika can spare here. He can strike out to shoot 246. The best Michael Haugen Jr. can shoot if he strikes out 244. First things first, cover the 10.
Third spare in the last 4 frames for Koivuniemi after that lights out start.
But Rob, getting back to showing the emotions, I really like the Mika demeanor because it seems in control. He's got a pretty good handle on where he's at mentally. And again, it's just too early to be running him out 5 or 6 lanes over, screaming and slapping him off, and it's just too early for that.
A pair for Haugen. The 10th is going to be fun.
2 more here. He's going to put all the pressure on Mika Koivuniemi to show up in the 10th frame. If If he strikes out, he'll force Mika to get 2 and 9 to beat him by 1 pin. But no matter what, he cannot shut out Mika Koivuniemi. This one's going to be straight and really fast.
Push. 3 in a row.
Well, you know, you got to give him a lot of credit, Rob, because even though it looks like he shouldn't play where he's playing to his strength. He said push, and what that means is it's just a pinch inside a target, but he was real good with it at the bottom of the swing with the release point, and he made that ball hold line.
Deficit trimmed to 2. His second effort in the 10th.
Come on, come on. Oh no, the 7 took a nudge,
But wasn't enough to convince it to drop.
Just a pinch right of target. Just doesn't catch enough of it. Throws a couple of pins at the 7. It stands up. Now Mika Koivuniemi gets up in the 10th frame. He'll need a strike and 9 to advance.
So Haugen in the books with a 233, the identical score he had yesterday when he eliminated Jason Belmonte.
If Mika gets less than 7 on his first ball here, he'll lose. We have a possibility of a tie.
Great shot, Mika.
That was a hesitant shot. You could see he pulled up out of it. He grabbed it at the bottom, and that ball went straight through the face. He's got to cover this and strike on his fill shot to force a tie. It's tough when you haven't been there in a while, Rob.
3-6-10. He made this conversion in the 6th frame as his wife watches.
It's no gimme.
Got it.
Now he's got to gather himself and throw his best shot right here.
A strike to tie. Anything less, and the 6 seed Haugen moves on. The missus watching from just yards away.
She knows the scoreboard. Taking his time, gathering his thoughts. He should only be thinking about one thing and one thing only. Just about how great he's going to throw this next shot.
The 10-pin denies Mika, and Haugen moves on. Great shot.
Wow is right.
Obviously frustrated Koivuniemi, and the somewhat Cinderella run of Michael Haugen Jr. lives for another match.
If Mika goes 9 spare 9 in the 10th frame, he wins. He has got to be devastated with that first ball in the 10th frame. This one's really good. He gets it just a pinch wide. He comes in late, leaving the ring at 10. But it was the first ball in the 10th frame where he yacked on it. He grabbed it at the bottom. It went high, leaving the 3-6-10. And then a ringing 10, Michael Haugen Jr. proving he's got 9 lives here in Vegas.
Looked like Mika was in control with that lights-out start, but a little gack, and Haugen pounced. So Michael Haugen Jr. moves on by 1 pin. Next, 4 seed Chris Barnes. He has won 2 majors, but he's had major problems as of late on TV. We'll discuss his chances when we return to Vegas. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by Spariva Handy Hailer. By Barbazol. Start your day with Barbazol Shaving Cream, America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. By EFX. Feel the effects of EFX. And by Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com to watch a free video. Go affordably. Go RVing. Michael Haugen Jr. Back-to-back 233s will not be denied. Will Chris Barnes be the one to put an end to his magical run, the 4 seed, to take on your 6 seed next? But first, we hear from Chris Barnes down on the lanes with Kimberly.
Well, Chris, you watched how close that last match was. Did you learn anything, and what's your game plan?
Well, I learned a few things. Mika had a great bar reaction there, and the finish is just brutal. He bowled a really good game. He made a couple bad shots, and sometimes good luck is a great benefactor, and Michael's been taking advantage of those situations. I'm going to play a line pretty similar to Mika's and hope that I can bowl a pretty good game here.
Chris Barnes up next in action, taking on Michael Haugen Jr. NBA action coming your way tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Carmelo Anthony in Denver taking on the team with the best record in the league, the San Antonio Spurs. NBA Sunday on ESPN at 9 Eastern. Chris Barnes has won just 1 match in his last 5 televised appearances. His drive to get off the schneid gets in gear when we return to Vegas. Coming up, a rematch of the 2008 Tournament of Champions title match. Michael Haugen Jr. taking on Chris Barnes. And what a match it was, Randy, decided by 1 pin.
Michael Haugen Jr. was buried, and Chris Barnes let him in late. Michael Haugen threw the last 5 out of 6 and beat him by a pin. Chris Barnes did have a chance in the 10th frame, but it was some kind of epic comeback.
The number 5 seed, rather the number 4 qualifier, owns 12 PBA Tour titles, including 2 majors. Former PBA Player of the Year from Double Oak, Texas, Chris Barnes.
A win would give Chris Barnes the Triple Crown. He's already won the U.S. Open and the TOC. He begins his quest for the PBA World Championship right now. Drop and give me 10.
And I really liked what he said to Kimberly about his game plan. He's going to play his game and try to beat Michael Haugen with his best.
Ball change yet for Michael Haugen Jr.
Ooh, you anticipate one?
I like to stay ahead of things, Randy.
Sorry.
A little bit through the face there.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you, it's amazing that he can stay there, because everything left of him has got to be fairly dry. It's a credit to his ability, and you know, whether you like to throw it straight or you like the hooker, the bottom line is you got to knock all 10 down. He is finding a way to throw it straight from the outside part of the lane when I don't think it's a real good idea, nor do I think he can do it, but he's getting it done.
How much time do you think he has left with that approach?
Well, I would have said none last game.
Right.
It just goes to show you, man, play to your strengths and do it with conviction. And that's what Michael Haugen Jr. is doing. He knows that he can't miss left. And if he does miss left, he better knuckle it. His thumb better come out first. Or excuse me, his thumb better come out last to keep it on line. And that's another trick that most people don't know about. Michael Haugen Jr. just threw a little loft at you right there, and that's also going to help him keep the ball on line. There you go. See a little airtime a la Mika Koivuniemi. Keeps his hand behind it or up the back of it, and that keeps the ball from making that violent change of direction down the lane.
Pretty looking shot. This is the second TV appearance of the season for Barnes after he finished 4th at the Chameleon Championship right here at South Point, as we take a look at his arsenal tonight.
And he's using a world beater, and that's the hookingest ball in his arsenal, which basically plays into his game plan, and that's move in and hook it on this Viper oil pattern.
I want to know who comes up with the names of some of these balls. Very impressive collection of names.
It is.
And intimidating. Barnes looking to open up with a 3-bagger. Ten-pin Messenger, down he goes! The missus, Linda Barnes, enjoying the Messenger's result.
Let's take a little page out of Michael Haugen's book in terms of catching a break, and there it is. There's a trip 10. When it looked like it was going to stand up, it fell late.
Talk about somebody who needs some mojo on TV. Spare strike, and this in the third from Haugen, right in the middle, right up the nose.
Too soft. Stay with it, stay with it.
Trouble brewing for Haugen.
Yeah, I just got a little bit of soft, and this ball just broke loose. And right here looks pretty good, but right at the bottom of the swing. Doesn't throw it fast enough, and there you see the change of the direction down the lane.
Haugen covers, clean through 3.
What I like about what that man's doing right there, it's all about the game plan, and there is no indecisiveness.
Mm-hmm.
It's crystal clear what he is trying to do. It's not, well, should I play out where Michael Haugen's playing? Should I play in between where I'm playing and where he's playing? It's, I'm moving in, I'm going to use my hand to my advantage, and I'm going to wheel on it.
Back on the strike train is Haugen. He thought a 230 in that range would be a good score. He got a 233 in his victory. Here is Chris Barnes. Last season, a rough one for him as far as winning titles are concerned. The first time since 2000, he did not claim a title. He's looking for an opening 4-bagger here. Way wide right.
Just a bit outside.
Understatement of the night. And another break for Haugen.
Well,
How'd that not strike?
This is where he has to regroup and come back and make the 1-2-4-7. It's just one shot. Get up, clean it up, and move on. Not the easiest of spares for a number of reasons. Easy to chop, easy to miss the head pin and hook by it.
Cleans it up. That's a big-time spare conversion from Chris Barnes, and that is our Bear Trusted Pain Relief replay, brought to you by the makers of Bear Aspirin, and a big relief for Barnes that he was able to cover that one.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Keeps him clean. All right, so he lost a couple of pins in count, but so what?
Still has the lead.
Just put that behind you and go back to what you were doing.
We begin the 5th.
I think so many times players dwell on where did that shot come from. You got to get past it.
And quickly. Whoa, a very fortunate late drop of the 10.
That was a little bit of the same. He just loses it just a hair at the bottom of the swing.
Gotta get started sooner.
Huge break here. Tripping that 10 late, only leaving a single pin spare. You heard Chris say he's got to get it started sooner. He's talking about his push weight. If he doesn't get the ball into the swing soon enough, he has to pull it down from the top, and when he does that, the ball goes either left or right of target.
So Chris will sit and mull over back-to-back spares. Michael Haugen Jr. Spare strike, as he gets set for his effort in the 5th. Down 15 pins, but in prime position to make up some big time ground. Right through the nose again. And
someone did something over there. I
real
heard like
tough
a zipper
break.
or something. Crazy. I don't know. I heard something. I don't know what it was, man. No big deal. It's just a world championship.
Different type of style for a guy that throws it fairly straight. You can see that heel coming off the ground right there. No slide. Typically not what you see from a player that throws the ball straight.
Was able to overcome an open frame in our last match to get the 1-pin win over Mika Koivuniemi. Will he be able to do that here in match number 4? Open frame in the 5th. Barnes with spares in the 4th and the 5th. Haugen Jr. kind of handing it right back to him. Here's the 6th.
I don't see that line having any chance.
Does that mean a ball change?
I think
a lineup change.
It's just an alignment change. I think he can use the same ball, move in, and get his ball speed soften up to where he can go around it a little bit more like Chris Barnes is doing. I think if he did that, he still has a chance to win this game.
Kicks the 2-pin out, gets his 3rd spare. The lead at 27 for Chris Barnes, and the conclusion of Barnes Haugen when we return the winner to move on to Sunday's Final 4 here at the PBA World Championship, the first major of the PBA season. Once again, Chris Barnes with a healthy advantage on television. He hasn't always been able to close out those games. Here is Barnes defending himself from the criticism surrounding his past TV failures.
One of the things that's great about sports, you're allowed to have an opinion, you're allowed to be critical, and so if they want to think I'm a choker, then they can think I'm a choker. All they have to do to find out if I am for real, they can come bowl me. Do the guys on tour do? I don't know. Some of them might, some might not. But I know I still get to an awful lot of them somehow, and I don't think these guys are spotting me the 9th and 10th frame of every game.
Barnes in the crowd watching that soundbite on the edge of the lanes. He had a smile on his face, and I think he's got a little extra motivation in his game right now.
I'll tell you what, you say what you want about his struggles on television. He's won 12 times. He's got a couple majors. And you know what? Yeah, he does struggle from time to time on television. But I'll tell you what, it's not a bad thing to have your peers and the majority of the players out here feel that you're the best on tour.
That is a big strike after a long commercial break.
That was for Tommy. Oh, I struck out of a commercial break.
Chris Barnes has been working on a little bit different setup and trying to get a little bit more axis rotation. So what he does is he sets up with his wrist cocked to the inside of the part of the ball, and that helps him to get more rotation or get around the side of the bowling ball more. The 2 shots where he went way light in the 4th and then light in the 5th, he just lost it off his hand.
Yes!
Back-to-back. Big-time jacks for Barnes. Linda approving of this rebound after those set of spares in the 4th and the 5th. Now Michael Haugen Jr. has some serious work in front of him. Down 37. His last 2 frames have been open and spare, and there is a ball change. Oh! How many times have we seen similar type results for Haugen over the last 24 plus hours? Not a Brooklyn, but close.
No, this is just a trip
to
2-8.
Tommy, and all of a sudden the roll 2 is in.
They all count, right, brother?
They absolutely do all count, Michael.
Still with the same ball in the left lane, though. Interesting. Right through the nose for a big 4. You saw it coming.
Circle the 8th frame. You will reflect back on that. And barring an implosion, it's Barnes's game. Another open frame.
Hustle.
Messenger! Not enough. Take your vitamins. Oh man, get your one-a-day multivitamin 50-plus advantage. Shameless plug, I realize.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Barnes steps up quickly. Take care of the 10. Time now for the Go RVing on the road, and the RV is not going to be putting on a whole lot of miles. We are right back here at the South Point Hotel and Casino tomorrow, live 1 Eastern on ESPN for our 3-match final. Next Saturday, back on ABC, 2:30 Eastern, the second major of the year, the PBA Tournament of Champions. Barnes in the 9th.
Better.
Money!
He let Stinks up front.
Well, it's mathematically a tie right now. If Michael Haugen Jr. strikes out, he shoots 194. If Chris Barnes gets up in double gutters in the 10th frame, he shoots 194. But you know what? I know Chris has struggled on television before, but I got to think he can handle 1 pin.
And that is all she wrote.
I like the fact that Barnesy came in and was committed to what he wanted to do. And instead of trying to outthink his opponent, he just tried to outbowl his opponent, and he did that.
Chris Barnes lives to bowl another day. The 4 seed moves on. He'll be in action tomorrow, taking on Osku Palermo. We'll be back to wrap it up in Vegas after this. Chris Barnes victorious over Michael Haugen Jr. The PBA World Championship is brought to you by the USBC and its 2 million members. To find out more about USBC, log on to bowl.com today. By Just for Men Mustache and Beard, keep your edge. By Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. And by the makers of Bear Aspirin, expect wonders. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler welcoming you back to Las Vegas. Chris Barnes, a dominating victory, 243 to 172 over Michael Haugen Jr. Time now for our Geico Championship recap. Randall.
Thanks, Rob. Match number 1, Michael Haugen Jr. taking on Mika Koivuniemi. Mika has a chance to put Michael Haugen Jr. away in the 10th frame. Throws a 7 count his first shot, then he needs a strike to tie, rings at 10. Haugen advances by 1. Then in match number 4, Chris Barnes just got all over Michael Haugen early, and he just stayed on him. Throwing shots like that, little messenger. Come on now. He takes care of Michael Haugen Jr., 243, 172. Chris Barnes, he moves on.
So Barnes, the 4 seed, moves on. And this is a reminder for Chris. It's not Sunday, it's only Saturday. Chris, you have not yet won the PBA World Championship. Put that hardware down, young man. You can claim it Sunday, but you have 3 more matches to win. And Barnes standing by with Kimberly.
Chris, how do you think you did today?
Well, I think all in all, any win I'll take. That's for sure. I've had some struggles at times, so got off to a great start. Michael, unfortunately, he had some bad breaks in the middle, and I made some bad shots, and he didn't make me pay for them. So, all in all, I had a ball here today that I didn't have in the World Series earlier with that world beater, and it made him look awful easy today.
I saw you over there picking up the trophy. Are you ready to win tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's a little early, I guess, to pick that up, but just practicing just in case. I think Bill and a few other guys have something to say about that, though.
We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.
A little practice on the trophy celebration. Never hurts
to try to practice on that hoist.
So Chris Barnes moves on. Match number 1 tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. He will take on the 2-handed bowler from Finland, Osku Palermo. Bill O'Neill, your number 1 seed. Luck finally ran out on Michael Haugen Jr.'s magical run through the 52nd edition of the PBA World Championship. Able to survive Mika Koivuniemi by 1 pin. Not able to do so versus Chris Barnes. Barnes in pursuit of major number 3. We'll see how it goes tomorrow on ESPN. For Randy, Kimberly, and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. Good night from Vegas.